welcome to my channel. I am Aisha, I am a tarot reader and occultist, and today we are going to be looking at the messages from your female guides. This is a collective reading. Please take what resonates and leave what doesn't, and don't force anything if it doesn't fit. Alright, I'll now be giving you some time to choose your group or your groups. Hello my group one, and welcome to your reading about what your female guides have to say to you. What message do they have for you? And today we will be using our good old trusty Rider-Waite tarot, and for your oracle we will be using the Oracle of Shadow and Light. So first, let's just get to know a bit about this female guide who has a message for you. Who is she? Like, what does she do? My group one's female guide, can you please tell me a bit about yourself? The Knight of Wands. My group one's female guide, can you please tell me a bit about yourself? The Six of Cups reversed. I feel like this is a grandmother. I'm thinking of like rice paddies and like farming, manual labor. So this is like a grandmother or an ancestor of yours that worked in the fields, worked with their hands, did a lot of manual labor. My group one's female guide, can you please just tell me a bit about yourself? King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. I'm thinking of this one African chief, a female chief, who I don't know if it's like one and the same, but there's this one chief who, instead of being called by any female honorifics or female words, decided to be called like a king and decided to be called by like male terms. It's a fairly modern, and I think she's the same chief who ended a lot of child marriages within this community. So I'm getting very rural, very earth-worn. I feel, is earth-worn a word? I feel like my lip gloss is running. Ooh, I hope it's not bad. But what was I saying? Somebody, I'm getting like a rural kind of figure, somebody who worked with their hands, somebody who is very used to manual labor. I'm getting like Northern Africa, Central Africa, China, Thailand also just popped to mind. I think this guide is from those regions. I'm gonna pull one more card. My group one's female guide, can you please tell me a bit about yourself? And the 10 of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. Okay, this is somebody who came into wealth but worked very, very hard for their wealth. Their success wasn't just handed to them. Even their stability wasn't just handed to them. And this is stability in every sense of the word, not just financial stability. This person, this guide of yours, and I don't think this is like a deity. I think this is a person who has, lived. Not just a deity, but somebody who has made their way through this life and who has fought for a lot of their own success, who has lived as a human as you live as a human. And so this guide of yours, I feel like it's a female ancestor. An ancestor, I shouldn't specify female because this is a message from your female guides, but I feel like this is an ancestor, somebody who worked their whole life. and who had to work their whole life. They had a vision of what they wanted their life to be, and so they went after it. And they may have grown up in like poverty, this one room shack where they shared with their whole family. I think they had a lot of siblings. I feel like they had a lot of siblings, but they may not have been close with many of them. The word runt comes to mind, runt. So they may have been the youngest in their family, and kind of overlooked and made to work a lot more, and their siblings may have forced them to do a lot of their chores and a lot of their work. But this ancestor of yours that's become your guide just took it all in stride. They didn't let anything break them. I'm thinking of this book, The Rice Mother by Rani Manicka, one of my favorite books, and I don't remember where it's set. I think it's set in Malaysia. Let me actually Google this, because this might give us deeper insight into who this guide is. Rani Manicka. I definitely 100% recommend this book. It is an absolute masterpiece. I also just heard Kuala Lumpur. So those are the areas. Yeah, Malaysia. Somebody who may have been married off into wealth, but they didn't let that or married off for money, but they didn't let those circumstances she didn't let those circumstances get the best of her. She still made a life for herself. Maybe she was a housewife, but she involved herself in business with her husband until she became a businesswoman of her own. She started making money of her own, became a businesswoman in her own right, became successful in her own right. Never ever ever let her circumstances get her down. Never ever ever let herself be overwhelmed by the life that she found herself in, by the circumstances she found herself in. Very big, like, girl boss energy. Though I'm also getting this like, for some of you, this guide of yours, she may not have made her money through the most legal of means, through the most upstanding of means. For some of you, this guide was all about, I'm going to be successful by any means necessary, I'm going to be wealthy by any means necessary, I'm going to be upstanding by any means necessary. And she may have sold like drugs, she may have run like a brothel, she may have run that kind of establishment, done things like had one establishment that was above ground and another establishment where she was doing things like kind of illegal, because she just wanted to be successful and she just wanted to have money, and she had a vision of who she wanted to be, and she had a vision of the life she wanted to live, and she wanted to be rich, and she wouldn't let anything stand in her way. She may have been married off to someone who was involved in those kind of dealings, and rather than being like this meek housewife that everybody expected her to be, she was like, no, you're doing this, so I'm going to do it with you. We're going to do this together, because I will get paid my share. I want to live comfortably. I don't want to just live comfortably from the money you're giving me. I want to have money of my own. I want to be your business partner. I want to be equal partners in whatever business this is. So like, very, like, I hate to say girl boss, but very like a self-made woman, I think, is the best way to say it, rather than girl boss. A self-made woman. What message do you have for my group one, please? What message do you have for my group one? The world reversed. What message do you have for my group one, please? King of Wands reversed. The sentence is in my mind, but it doesn't make much sense. It's like, you can't have without taking. I guess that does make sense. You can't have without taking. You can't have without taking. That there's give and take in this world. That if you want something, you have to reach out and take it. Things don't just drop into your lap. You can't just accept your circumstances or lay around in your circumstances and wait for things to change. You have to make an effort and go out there. She's like, if I just sat around and waited for things to change, I would have been in the paddy fields until I died. If I just sat around and waited for things to change, I would have been an unhappy housewife until I died. I didn't just sit around and wait for things to change, and I don't want you to just sit around and wait for things to change. You can't have change unless you reach out and take, unless you reach out and make change happen. what fell out for you? 10 of Wands reversed. A lot of reversals, but it's because it's I feel like I get this image of her watching you and just shaking her head in disappointment. It's like she can see your potential. She knows you can be successful. She knows you can be rich. She knows you can be wealthy. She knows you can be this baddie. She sees your highest potential, and she wonders why you're not seeing it. I really feel like, like, I know I said like North Africa, Central Africa, but I feel mostly that we're looking at Asia, we're looking at India, we're looking at China, we're looking at Thailand, Malaysia, these areas. We're looking at Ceylon, we're looking at Bangladesh, we're looking at Asia. We're looking at Asia because I get this image of this auntie, and like I have aunties like this. I'm South African Indian, I'm colored, and like there's aunties that will just go like, Aya, look at how she's living. Oh, Aya, I can't believe she's just throwing away her potential like this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that ayo kind of energy, like just looking at you and shaking her head. Like that's what I imagine this ancestor is doing. Like just like ayo. When she looks at you, kind of. For my group, one please. Page of Wands. Page of Wands. She's like, there's so much opportunity available to you, and if you don't see opportunity, then you need to reach out and start making opportunities. You need to start taking the risk. You need to start forcing yourself into rooms that aren't open to you. If there's no space, you need to make the space. You need to take up space. You need to start doing things that, for some of you, maybe they go against your morals and your ethics. She's like, I want you to be happy. I want you to be successful. I want you to be rich. And I can't let you let your morals and your ethics be in control of that. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe this isn't the best guide. I don't know. But I respect her because she has a code and she lives to it. And she wants you to make your own code and live by it. She's like, yes, it's one thing to live by everybody else's code, and everybody else is telling you you can't live your life like this, you can't do this, you can't do that, this is shameful, this is embarrassing. She's like, screw all of them, forget what everybody else is telling you. How do you want to live your life? Especially if you come from these Asian households where usually their morals are so, and their code of ethics are so firm and so tight, and everything is shameful. Oh, it's shameful if you're not a doctor. It's shameful if you're a stripper. It's shameful if you make YouTube videos, for example, even simple innocent YouTube videos. It's shameful if you marry for money, even though so many people marry for money. It's shameful. Everything is shameful in Asian households. Everything is shameful. And she's looking at you and she's like, if I let shame control me, I would not have been as successful as I am. If I let shame control me, I would not have been as successful as I was. If I let shame control me, I would have been miserable. I would have been a second wife thrown to the side. I would have died with like some opium addiction. I would have died miserable and unhappy, forgotten, forlorn. I'm also thinking of Raise the Red Lantern, beautiful movie, and that kind of situation with the four wives. And I feel like I'm really getting like very strong Asian ancestry over here. So like she's just like telling you, and maybe she's very harsh because she comes from harsher times. She came from times where she had to like fight tooth and nail just to be acknowledged as a woman, and she doesn't. And so when she looks at you, she's looking at you through that lens, right? When she's guiding you through that lens. I had to fight tooth and nail to be recognized. Even in my own household with my husband and my sister wives, it was a battle every day. Nobody was your friend. You had to, it was always like a psychological test almost, just to be acknowledged. It was always a mind game just so she wouldn't be forgotten. Do you know what I'm saying? And so she's kind of telling you that it's time for you to do the same, for you to stop just sitting and accepting life as it's handed to you. That she wants you to start going after life, to start taking risks, to start being a bit more shameful, to start being a bit more embarrassing, to start disappointing people. What fell out for you? 2 cards fell out for you. How fitting, I need 2 last cards. Ace of Pentacles reversed and the 9 of Cups. She wants you to start doing things that she's like, disappoint people. Who cares? Disappoint people. disappoint people, be a bad woman, be a bad man, be somebody who is looked down upon by society. That's fine. It's fine. You do not need to be accepted by everyone. You don't need to make everyone happy. You don't need to make everyone proud of your choices. You don't need to make everybody proud of you. You need to make yourself proud. You need to do things that are at the end of the day going to make you successful. Okay, I'm back. My camera ran out of space while recording, but hopefully I got out. No, not hopefully. I know I got out all the most important parts about how she just wants you to live your life for yourself. It is time for you to start living your life for yourself. If you want to experience that abundance and success that you desire, and it doesn't have to be her kind of abundance, her kind of success. It's abundance and success that you want out of life, that you want for life, that you want from life. Can you see how like my camera, how this has kind of put me like in this like weird place? So I'm going to pull your oracle cards. But in short, yes, it's like define what success means for you and go after it, even if that means shaming yourself and shaming your family. Like, who cares? At the end of the day, that's what she wants you to know. It's like, who cares? This is your life. You are living this life, and this is your only life. Even if you believe in reincarnation, like I do believe in reincarnation, this is still the only life that I will experience in this body, in this, you know, it's so I still have to live it to the fullest. And it's the same for you. You have to live it to the fullest. You can't worry about disappointing people because it's not their life to live. Let's pull your oracle cards. One, please. Sewer mermaid. Your sensuality is beautiful. Okay. You may have also been told that you're ugly, you're unattractive a lot in your life. And I keep coming back to this, to like Asian standards and Asian households, because I feel like that will resonate with you very strongly, whichever part of Asia you're from. But I feel like this is typically, or this is coming through very strongly on a matter of colorism specifically. You may have always been told, oh, you're too dark, you're too, you know, your features are too, you know, too ugly. And I feel like she just wants you to know, and I feel like that's confirmation, but I feel like this guide of yours wants you to know that that's not the case at all. Maybe you've always wanted to be a model, or you've always wanted to be on social media, or you've always wanted to do something appearance based, but you've always been told, no, you're too ugly, you're too dark for that. And she wants you to know that's not the case at all. One, please. Carnivorous flower fairy. A tempting offer has a high price, and this tempting offer is doing the safe thing, staying in routine, making your family proud, making your family happy. That high price you're paying is the price of your own freedom, the price of your own success, the price of your own abundance. And she keeps just wanting you to know, it's like, if I did the good thing, if I did the thing that made me a good woman, a good wife, then I would have never been happy. I would have been miserable. I would have hated my life. I would have thrown myself off a building. I would have gone mad. My group one, please. And now I keep thinking of my words. I keep thinking of Ray's the Red Lantern, and I really think you should watch this movie. Just to get a better idea of her and where she's coming from, the kind of life that she may have lived, and also to read The Rice Mother by Rani Manicka, just to get a better idea of this guide of yours and to see where she's coming from, to see her perspective and to understand what she absolutely does not want for you. If you have to be, how do I say this? Being a good woman doesn't get you very far. It didn't get you far then, it doesn't get you far now. Sometimes you have to be contrary. You have to be, I heard the word diabolical, you have to be a bit of a deviant in order to get far in this life. especially as a woman, and especially as a woman in Asian households, or even in black households, in strict households, in conservative households. You have to be a bit of a deviant. Sometimes you have to just disregard them and make your own path, do your own thing. You don't get very far. You only get so far doing what will make your family happy, doing what will make your community not look upon you in shame. Okay, your last card. Autumn is my last chance. Please don't lose hope. She wants you to, that's it. Please don't lose hope. You are going to have the life that you desire. You are going to feel free. You are going to be out of the situation. You just have to do the scary thing and disappoint some people. Look at this. Do the scary thing and disappoint some people. You can do the safe thing. There's always the option to do the safe thing. But will the safe thing make you happy? That's what she wants to know. And she knows, as well as I know, as well as you know, that no, doing the safe thing will not make you happy. So please take the risk for yourself, for her, and for me. Okay, so my group 1, I'm going to close your reading here. Thank you so much for trusting me to be your reader. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can find the links to do so down below. Alright, bye. Hello my group 2, and welcome to your reading about what message your female guides have for you. So today we will be using our trusty old Rider-Waite tarot. And for your oracle, we will be using the oracle of shadow and light. Alright, so let's first get to know a bit about this guide who's coming through. My group 2's female guide, can you please tell me a bit about yourself? The devil reversed. Okay. Overcome bondage. Hecate immediately comes to mind. But also I'm thinking in this, I get a feeling that this is like a slave woman who overcame her bondage, because immediately when you see the devil reversed, you think about escaping from bondage. So this may be a slave woman who escaped from her slavery. It may be, is there a goddess of slaves? I'm also hearing like Yoruba, maybe a Yoruba goddess. Goddess of slaves. Ananke. Ananke is the powerful deity that ruled compulsion, constraint, restraint, or coercion, and presides over all forms of slavery and bonds, starting with the basic necessities of life. Consequently, when someone is cast into prison or fastened by chains, her name is evoked. Her name is evoked, Ananke. Okay. I just took a screenshot of it, and I'll make a note of it in the description box. Who is the Roman goddess of slaves? Feronia. Feronia was also associated with freedom, but in a different sense than libertas. She was sometimes worshipped as a protector of slaves. So yes, this is a goddess of slaves, a goddess of let me see if there's a Yoruba one, because I keep hearing Yoruba, and I'll also Google Yoruba. This might also be a name. It might be very shango. Some of the slaves brought to the Americas were Yoruba, one of the various ethnic groups drawn into the Atlantic slave trade. Okay, so we're looking at Oba. Oba is the Yoruba goddess of the river. Okay, so I think maybe it wasn't Yoba, it was Oba. So we're looking at Ananke, Shango, Oba. Who was the other one, the Roman one? Feronia. So that's the kind of energy we're looking at here. This is the guide who is coming through for you. This may also, rather than one of those figures, this may be an ancestor of yours who was a slave in some capacity, who was a slave or a slave in some capacity, who often evoked the name of one of these goddesses. Yoruba, I feel like very strongly Yoruba is coming through. So who did we say? Ananke, Shango, Oba. And those are more feronia. Please tell me a bit more about yourself. Queen of Pentacles reverse, and immediately as I pulled the song I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston came to mind. I have nothing, I don't have you. Somebody who threw it all away for love, who sacrificed greatly for love. Threw away her name, her good fortune for love. And the Four of Pentacles, a regret, a very strong regret, to have given it all up for love and be left with nothing. Just tell me a bit more about yourself. Ace of Wands reversed, deep regret. There's this feeling that she went from being a slave of one kind to being a slave of another, to being a servant in her own house, to being a servant in another person's house. I get this feeling that she married someone thinking that this person would save her from the difficulties of her life, the restraints of her life, the pain of her life. And it turned out that this person was no better. They were selling her a false dream, a false hope. They were selling her air, basically. A very deep regret. I just heard the words died in regret. This, I can hear Kendrick Lamar's voice in my head, but as soon as I was like, oh, what Kendrick song is in my head? Euphoria came to mind, but I don't think I was channeling Euphoria initially. But there's this deep sadness, this deep pain, as if she threw away her restraints. Again, thinking, okay, I'm a slave in my father's house, I'm a servant in my father's house. So I will marry this good man, and he will protect me, only for me to become a servant in his house as well, a slave in his house as well. And this may be an actual, like it may be like a slave in that kind of sense, where you're made like less than within your own home, or it may be a slave in the sense of being an actual slave. And I know this may be very triggering to hear about, and I am very sorry, but this is the person who is coming through, this is the guide who is coming through. And I do think those goddesses that I mentioned earlier, I don't think that this goddess is one of your guides. She may be, but I don't think she's the guide that's coming through. I think those goddesses that I mentioned earlier were very important to your guide, the guide who is coming through. And I feel like it's important that if you want to connect with this guide, it's important for you to connect with those goddesses. I feel like for a long time, all that your guide has was these goddesses. These goddesses were the only people she could rely on. These goddesses were the only people who had her back. I feel like is Yoruba, is that in Nigeria? It may have been, and I'm also thinking about Cinderella. I'm also seriously thinking about Cinderella, and it may have been where she was like a servant in her own home. And you know, with Cinderella, that was her house, it was her father's wealth. And her stepmother and her stepsisters made her like a servant, even though they were living comfortably in her house and her wealth. And so this guy that's coming through, and what's on their channel, I Have Nothing. This guy who is coming through, they may have been very wealthy. She may have been very wealthy. She may have come from a wealthy family. And then she married this man, and this man took advantage of her completely. He made her like a slave. He brought in his wives, he brought in her family, and they all abused her. They all treated her like less than nothing. And I feel like she just lived with regret, and she died with regret. And that's the saddest thing, is that she died with regret, and she died with pain. What message do you have for my group 2, please? The 9 of Pentacles. What message do you have for my group 2, please? The Page of Wands. It's really like she's just happy just watching you and being happy that you don't have to live the life that she lived. There was a post that I saw on, oops, sorry, all those cards fell. There was a post that I saw on Tumblr that was like me working my dead end, miserable gas station job. My ancestors, my female ancestors, happy because I'm not working the field and popping out 10 babies a year or something like that, like cheering. I'll try and insert it here if I remember. Not if I remember, I'm literally saying this, so I will insert it here. If I find it, I will insert it. But it's like she is just happy that you are not living the life that she had to live. Yes, maybe you feel like maybe you're so dissatisfied. You want so much more out of your life. And you're like, I can't believe that this is all my life is. But she's looking down at you and she's like, that's a good life. Because you don't have to live the miserable life that she lived. You're not just you're not just like a mule. You're not a like a baby making machine. You're not a servant in your own house. You're not a slave. Yes, you may feel dissatisfied with your life, but in her eyes, you're free. In her eyes, you're living a dream life. And she is like, she's just happy for you. My group 2, please. 10 of Wands. Page of Wands, 10 of Wands. I feel like she's also prepping you for a very big change that's about to come. A very big positive change that's about to come. I heard college acceptance letter. Especially if you want to travel abroad, if you want to apply to universities, if you want to apply to universities abroad, if you want to apply to work abroad, universities, college, if you want to apply to work abroad, I feel like she's telling you to go for it. Or she's telling you to wait for it, because not wait for it, but to just wait and stop being so impatient, because you're going to be getting your acceptance letter soon. My group 2, please. The Moon. She's holding onto a very big secret. She's holding onto a very, very big secret. Oh my group 2, please. The 8 of Cups. And when we look at the 8 of Cups, this is a card of walking away from your current circumstances onto something better. She's keeping a very big secret from you, and she's like breadcrumbing you. My group 2, please. Knight of Wands. Oh my gosh, and now my neighbors are going to start with construction. I really don't know what they're doing, but like for months now, there's always construction. She's telling you that you don't see how good life is going to get. And I feel like this is very purposeful from your guides, that they don't want you to know just how much your life is going to improve, just how much better your life is going to get. They're all keeping a secret from you, because this is something you need to experience. This big change that's coming is something that you need to experience authentically. She is like, my life was miserable. My life was torture. My life was suffering. I was a pack mule. I was a birthing station. Not a birthing station. I was a baby making machine. I was popping out babies every year. I was working while pregnant. I was a slave to my husband. I was a slave in this household. I was dirt on the bottom of society's shoe. I was nothing. But you can be something. And maybe you are not going to have the life you dream of. Maybe you want to be a star. Maybe you want to be award winning. Maybe you're going to be the greatest. Maybe that's what you want, but maybe that's not the life that you're going to have. But she wants you to know that that is not a bad thing. Mediocrity is not a sin. A safe, comfortable, average life is not the worst thing that you can have. Yes, yes, maybe you will feel unfulfilled at times, but she wants you to know that already you are living such an amazing life. And not like, I had it so bad, so of course, so not like that, like, oh, back in my day my life was so miserable, I had it so bad, so you should just be happy that your life is not so bad. But she wants you to remember that you've come so far. Think about the generations that came before you, the women that came before you, the people that came before you, and how much they suffered. And think about your life in comparison. And at times when you feel unfulfilled, when you feel like your life is going nowhere, when you feel like you're nothing, when you feel like you're just a plastic bag floating in the wind, when you feel like that, just sit and think about how, in comparison to the woman who came before you, the people who came before you, think about how much more comfortable your life is. And then remember that you have time. For her, she had no time. Once she was married, that was it. That was her life. That was her destiny. She had no say. She couldn't leave. She couldn't say no. She couldn't change anything. She couldn't do anything. That was her life. But you have free will. You have autonomy. You can. And I guess she had free will and autonomy, but she couldn't do anything with that, because that was the society she was raised in. That was the society she lived in. She couldn't escape it. But you can. You have time. You have autonomy. You have, and not just, you don't just have autonomy, you have autonomy, and you're able to do things with your autonomy. And you have time. You have something that she did not have, and that's time. You can change your life at any moment. If you want to spend the next 5 years working at a gas station, doing retail, pursuing art, and then you want to pursue something else, and then you want to go into corporate, and then you want to start auditioning, and then you want to do this, and then you want to do that, that's fine. If you feel like you've wasted the last 5 years of your life, wasted, by the way, no time is wasted. If you feel like you've wasted the last 5 years of your life and now you want to make a change, you can. That's what she wants to remind you, is that you always have time and you always have the opportunity to change. She never had it. She never had it. Her life was over before it even began, but yours isn't. You still have so much life ahead of you. And if you're older and you're saying, but it's too late for me now, I'm 45, so what? I'm 50, so what? I'm 60, 70, 80, so what? I just saw on Twitter the other day, this woman, 105 years old, she just got her master's degree. She had been working towards her master's degree during World War II. And so now that she's like in a safe place and now she's able and capable, of course she went and got her master's degree. And isn't that so amazing? And that's the thing with you. Unlike her, she had no time, but you have time. And she wants you to take advantage of the time that you have. And she wants you to be proud of yourself for taking slow steps, for doing things slowly, for doing things in small ways. Be proud of yourself always, okay? And let your breath go. And remember that you have time. I feel like more than anything, that's the message that she wants to remind you of. That's the message that she wants to get across. That unlike her, you have time. You have the privilege of time, and you can do anything at any time, and you can change anything about your life at any time. You have time. Let's pull your oracle cards. For my group 2, please. Angel of Alchemy, Miracle. Yes, she's definitely keeping something from you. A great miracle is coming towards you. And this miracle may just be you realizing that there's still so much you can do with life. That you don't have to accept things that they are. That you don't have to be afraid of the passing of time. Because you have time. For my group 2, please. A clockwork pumpkin, a wonderful idea, the aha moment. A great idea. I feel like something is going to click very soon, and you're going to realize that there's something that you want to do, that there's something you can still do. My group 2, please. Violet Angel, Breaking Dawn. I'm thinking of the song by Ghost 9, Break Off Dawn. But yes, she seems like such a comforting figure, this guide, almost motherly in a way. And in her time, while she may have had so many children and she loved them all, they were still children she was forced to have. But with you, it's like, to her, you're a child that she's chosen. And she's chosen to watch over you, and she's chosen to guide you, and she's chosen to help you through this life. And I feel like that's such a blessing to be chosen in such a way. And she is just letting you know that there is great change on the horizon. There is peace on the horizon. There is fulfillment on the horizon. You are not going to be feeling so stagnant and so lost forever. Good things are coming towards you. And I'm thinking of that song, good things are happening all around me. People are high-fiving. People are making out, freaking out. It's a front bottom song. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's... No, I really don't remember what it's called. But I really do love that song. But it's like, yes, good things are going to be happening around you. And she just wants you to know that in some capacity, you are also in control of those good things happening. Do you want to go back to school? All right, go back to school. Apply for scholarships. Take the initiative. You want to move across the country, but you don't have many savings? Fine. Take the risk. Sometimes you just need to take the risk. Or sometimes you need to, I don't know, it's just like she wants you to know that things are going to change. And you are, in a way, in control of making those things change. You are in control of your own life in a way that she never was in control of her life. And that's another thing that she wants you to know. Two things. That you have time and you are in control of your own life. And I think that's really beautiful, my group 2. So my group 2, I'm going to close your reading here. Thank you so much for trusting me to be your reader. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can find the links to do so down below. Alright, bye. Hello my group 3, and welcome to your reading about what message your female guide has for you. So today we will be using our trusty Rider-Waite Tarot. And for the oracle, we will be using the Oracle of Shadow and Light. Alright, so let's first find out a bit more about this guide. Please tell me a bit about yourself. Please tell me a bit about yourself for my group 3. The Ace of Pentacles. Please tell me a bit about yourself for my group 3. Oh, what fell out? Okay, 2 cards fell out. The Ace of Wands and the Devil. I'll pull one more. Please tell me a bit about yourself for my group 3. The World. This is so prosperous. Oh my gosh. I feel like this is a goddess coming through, like a legit goddess. Which goddess is associated with... I'm getting Hecate and like Venus. Which goddess is associated with the world? 2 very distinct goddesses here. Actually, not Hecate and Venus. Maybe twin goddesses. Are they twin goddesses? Let's Google twin goddesses. I'm only seeing fighting game. Maybe sisters. Goddess sisters. Okay, so I'm seeing quite a few things, but definitely I'm seeing goddesses who are sisters coming through here. The Fates, maybe. I feel like this is one goddess and this is the other goddess. This is your one deity, this is the other deity. Ace of Pentacles and the Devil. Which god? Let me see if there is a goddess associated with the devil. Because now this is very much like a goddess. Lilith, Banshee, Morrigan, Baba Yaga, Nama. But I'm feeling like so distinct, like Gaia, Isis, Earth Mother, that's associated with the world. But I feel like this is definitely maybe not even sisters, like, but goddesses who work as a team, goddesses who work together. So maybe even the fates. The fates. If these aren't goddesses, these may be twin sisters who are looking over you, who are watching over you, a mother and a sister. Not a mother and a sister. If you lost your mother and you lost an aunt, it may be the both of them. But it's giving me a very strong sister energy, twins energy that's coming through here. Both very abundant. They feel like gods of new beginnings, watching over you, leading you towards new beginnings, who in their lives have always been very prosperous. Their things never fail. They always do very well. Like just success after success after success. But I feel like their lives ended, if they were living, their lives ended very suddenly and very tragically. Very tragically. It's like they lived together, they died together. Live by the cross, die by the cross kind of energy. But they lived together and they died together. And it was just very tumultuous, very, not tumultuous, very dramatic. That's the word I'm looking for. Very sudden, very tragic, and very dramatic. Like two people who died in a car accident. Like sisters who died in a car accident, a mother and a daughter who died in a car accident, died in like a freak accident. But I'm also getting like deities who work together, goddesses who work together, sisters, fates. What message does this? What message do you have for my group 3, please? The Knight of Swords. In the arms of the one who loves you just came to mind. What song is that? In the arms of the angel. So I'm thinking in the arms of the angel and in the arms of the one who loves you. In the arms of the angels. A message for my group 3, please. I just can't get it out of my head. Sisters. You might have a lot of sisters, but I don't think that's the case. If you lost a sister, this may be more for you than anything else. That this may be, so if you lost a sister, if you lost a mother, if you lost an aunt, these are your guides. They are people who have like a very strong familial connection to you, or deities who have a very strong familial connection amongst themselves. And I'm sorry about the noise in the background if it's distracting. For my group 3. For my group 3. Sorry, because it is a bit distracting to me as well. The moon reversed. For my group 3, please. For my group 3, please. I just realized how goofy this horse in the Knight of Swords looks. Oh my word. So goofy. For my group 3, please. In the arms of the angel keeps coming to mind. In the arms of the angel. So I really think, like, initially while I was saying, oh, this is twin goddesses, twin deities, and I know I rushed through it a bit, not intentionally, I just realized now, because I think it was like, how do I say this? I kind of want to say, if you know, you know, and that's the kind of energy that's coming through. It's like this guide, these guys that are here, it's very much like, if you, group 3, doesn't know that this message is for them, then it's not for them. But if group 3 can tell that this message is for them, then this message is for them. It's that kind of like, if you know, you know energy. Now I'm thinking, if you don't know, now you know. Is that Biggie? But I feel like that's the kind of energy that's coming through. It's like your guide. Sorry about that. It's like your guides are saying. It's like your guides are saying that group 3 is going to know. Group 3 doesn't need confirmation. Group 3 is going to know that this is me, that this is us. And I really think that this is like a mother that you lost, a sister that you lost, a cousin that you lost, someone who you were very close to. It may have been like, especially if you lost two people at similar times or even at the same time, then this is your message. Car accident, freak accident, drowning, hurricane, Hurricane Katrina. For my group 3, please. My group 3, please. Three of Pentacles reversed. For my group 3, please. Two of Swords reversed. For my group 3, please. The Empress. I just want to look up that song, In the Arms of the Angel, and I want to Google In the Arms of the One Who Loves You. In the Arms of the Angel, sung by mclachlan. Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction, or a beautiful release. Memories seep from my veins. Let me be empty, and weightless, and maybe I'll find some peace tonight. In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room and the endlessness that you fear. This may have been someone that, or two people that you lost by suicide. It may have been that one died by natural circumstances and the other one was so taken by grief that they took their own life. If you know of any deities or any mythological stories that follow that pattern, then that might resonate with you. But just take it as it resonates, because I'm really not aware of any stories of goddesses like that. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort here. And what was the other one? In the arms of the one who loves you. By Xscape. I forgot about the song. I love this song. I know you're going. I can't make you stay. I can only let you know I love you anyway. And if the road you take leads to heartbreak somewhere down the line, if someone ever hurts you or treats your heart unkind, you just run to the arms of the one who loves you. You just run to these arms, and these two arms will keep you warm. When rain has found your heart, never fear, I'm never far. You just run to the arms of the one who loves you. I want you happy. I want the best for you. And if you have to leave to find your dream, I hope that dream comes true. But if the world you find brings you hard times, if someone makes you cry, I'll be there to hold you. I'll be standing by. You just run to the arms of the one who loves you. You just run to these arms. This is it's just so full of love. So full of love in a way I haven't seen in the other readings. Like, yes, there's been love and there's been this like loving energy, but this is so like, when you can't turn to anyone else, please turn to me. And also, for those of you who lost someone, like a mother figure, or lost someone like a sister, a cousin, who lost someone, and you're seeing them in this reading, especially if you lost this person by like suicide, know that they are saying that they apologize for removing themselves from your life in that way, and they're sorry that they can't be here with you today. But even though they're not physically in this world, on this plane, they're still with you. They're still around you. They're still guiding you. They're still here for you to lean on, for you to run to, for you to cry to. If you cry, and if you need to cry to someone, if you need to vent to someone, if you need to put all of your heartbreak and your burdens on someone, put it on them. Call out their name, and call out my name and I'll be there. Who is that by? Is that Whitney Houston? Call out my name and I'll be there. And I think it's Whitney Houston. Call out my name and I'll You've Got a Friend, song by Carole King. No, this is not the one. Mariah Carey, I'll Be There. So it might be Carole King or it might be Mariah Carey, I'll Be There. Okay, I'll listen to both of these and I'll put the one in the description box that I'm channeling in my head. So it's either You've Got a Friend by Carole King or I'll Be There by Mariah Carey, but I'm pretty sure that it's Mariah Carey. But this is just a message for you that, you know, this person is always with you. Things may not be going well. You may have... Why do I kind of feel like this is a message from my mom for me? Wow. Only now I just realized. Because even the way I was describing things like, oh, you may have lost two people at the same time. Like I lost my mom in September. And then in December of that same year, I lost my dad. It didn't even occur to me. So it may be that same kind of situation for you. So it may have been a case where you worked so hard towards something. You had so many dreams for the future and you were so successful and you were always told you're going to be great, you're going to be successful, you're going to be amazing, you're going to do so much in life, you're going to go so far. And immediately as I said that, I thought of You're Gonna Go Far Kid by Offspring. And you may have had so many hopes for the future and now you're stagnant. You've got your degree, you've got these qualifications, you've got these achievements, but life doesn't seem to be moving forward. And you're sitting there and it's like, people told me I had so much potential. People tell me I have so much potential. I was promised a life that I'm not living. And you're wondering, when are things going to turn around? And you don't see it, but life is changing. The Empress, very soon you are going to be in that abundant energy. You don't see it, but things are coming into fruition. Things are falling into place. And a big reason you don't see it is because you're not meant to see it. You're not meant to see how much you're going to be blessed. You're not meant to see how much things are changing for you. I feel like pulling one more tarot card. Now I keep thinking about I'll Be There. I really think it's I'll Be There by Mariah Carey. Isn't that beautiful? For my group 3, please. For my group 3, please. 9 of Cups. Know that you may be feeling... No, did I say 9 of Cups? No, 9 of Pentacles. We have the 9 of Cups here and we have the 9 of Pentacles now. Know that as dissatisfied as you may be feeling, know as restless as you may be feeling, know as... No matter how much you feel like your life isn't turning out the way it was supposed to turn out, know that things are going to be okay. And if you need to cry to someone, cry to this guide. If you need to yell at someone, yell at this guide. If you need guidance, call out to them. Ask them for signs. Tell them, I need you. Please, I need you. And they'll be there for you. Alright, my camera died, but we are back. And I'm actually kind of glad that it died, because as soon as I was distracted from your reading, I heard 2 months. And so what we were talking about your guide wanting you to know that things are going to be getting better, inexplicably better, very, very soon. 2 months to 2 years. 2 months you're going to be looking back and wondering, how could I have worried about the future? 2 years you're going to be looking back and you're going to just be astounded by the grace that God has shown you, the blessings that you have received, and like, wow, my life is so different in the best way possible. And they just want you to know that. Let's pull some. But also I'm looking at this Nine of Pentacles, and they want you to not want you to sacrifice. They want you to not sacrifice the present for the future. You have all these hopes for the future, and you want your future to be so successful, and you want your future to look a certain way. But don't sacrifice living your life in the now for an imagined future. Don't give up on love and casual relationships and times with friends and having fun and enjoying the present, all because you are working so hard towards the future. A future that's not even promised to you. Like I said, life is short and you can die at any time. That's the hard, honest truth. Life is short and you can die at any time. And they want you to make the most of the life that you have while you have it, because they don't want you to end up on your deathbed wishing that you had lived your life. Okay? They want you to know that things are going to get better, and that you have a future to be excited for. But don't get so caught up on the future that you ignore the present that you're living in. Message for my group D, please. 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 Fearless, faceless ghosts and the haunted girl. Ghost people. Stop giving people so much of power over yourself, over your future. Come on, quickly, please. The three fate. What comes around. What goes around comes around. But also I feel like with this ghost people, it's like you'll be hearing back from people who have ignored you in the past or who have forgotten about you in the past, and you'll be in a much better place. So it's like this energy of you're doing so well now, you're successful, you look great, you're doing great, you're living great. Sorry, I just had to check quickly if this battery also died, because I heard like a funny sound and I was like, please don't tell me that this battery is also dead, because I literally had it charging for the last hour. Where was I? But it's like this energy of you're doing so great in your life, and you're going to start seeing people coming around with opportunities, with offers, and it's going to be important for you to be very discerning about these opportunities. Like, oh, you only want me now because I have money, or you only want me now because I look like this, blah 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 blah. To be very discerning. Lick back also comes to mind. It's like some people who hurt you are going to be getting what they deserve. For my group, please. Snow angel, the signs are with you already. You can already feel it. You can already sense it. That a big change is coming. Change for the better. Positive change, great change. You can already sense it. You're already seeing signs of it around you. Don't doubt it. Don't doubt the process. Trust the process, and trust that things are turning around for the better, because your guide wants you to know that things are turning around for the better. All right, my group 3. Oh, ow. I'm going to close your reading here. Thank you so much for trusting me to be your reader. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can find the links to do so down below. Otherwise, bye.